Hey drivers, what's happening? Jim here, and today we're taking the gloves off. This one's going to stir some feelings, but it needs to be said. There's a dangerous trend that's been happening on our highways, and the media is not talking about it, at least not loud enough. Truck drivers who can't speak English causing deadly accidents. And now, finally, the feds are cracking down.
That's right. We're talking real lives lost, families shattered, and big rigs destroyed, all because someone behind the wheel didn't understand road signs or couldn't communicate in an emergency. This ain't just a language issue. It's a public safety crisis.
Let's start in Carbon County, Wyoming, March 15, 2025. It's snowing hard on Interstate 80. A white Freightliner heading westbound, driven by Boris Bakshairov, 47, spins out near milepost 215. He crosses into oncoming traffic, takes out 100 feet of guardrail, 22 barrier posts, and slams into a red Freightliner truck driving down the eastbound lane, according to the case affidavit filed by Wyoming Highway Patrol.
The eastbound rig was driven by 63-year-old James Byers from Alabama with his co-driver Mary Couch, 70, in the sleeper. Bakhtiarov's Freightliner crushed their cab. Mary died at the scene despite troopers trying CPR. James was seriously hurt.
And get this, Bakshairov couldn't speak English. In court, he needed an interpreter. He pled not guilty to homicide by vehicle and failure to stay in his lane through a translator. That's straight from the Wyoming Highway Patrol. So to reiterate, Mary Couch, 70 of Lineville, Alabama, was identified as the deceased victim in the I-80 crash outside Rawlins, Wyoming. This poor woman was in the sleeper berth when the other big truck slammed into the semi she was in. That crash closed Interstate 80 for nearly 8 hours. Now get this, the non-English speaking driver accused of killing Couch was released from jail on a $20,000 cash bond. She's dead. Meanwhile, he walks out of court with a slap on the wrist. He's charged with 1 count of homicide by vehicle, which is punishable by up to 1 year in jail and $2,000 in fines. He pleaded not guilty in Rawlins Circuit Court to that charge and to a citation alleging he didn't stay in his lane. Couch had planned to retire in the coming months to spend more time with her kids and grandkids. Her family voiced frustration with the misdemeanor charge's potential 1-year penalty.
This ain't the first time we've seen this. Remember Rogel Aguilera Medeiros in 2019? That driver couldn't read English signs, blew past a runaway truck ramp, and killed 4 people on I-70 in Denver, Colorado.
Then in 2021, near Indianapolis, a box truck driver, limited English, couldn't read hazmat signs. Boom, 2 dead. These aren't flukes, they're patterns.
And reports from Landline Media and Overdrive show this over and over. Drivers with CDLs who can't speak English on U.S. roads driving what amounts to an 80,000-pound missile.
Now here's the kicker. The FMCSA already had a rule for this, and it says all commercial drivers must read and speak English sufficiently to converse with the public and read traffic signs.
But here's what happened. In 2016, Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx was directed by President Barack Obama to relax regulation on non-English speaking CDL drivers. This meant no more out-of-service penalties for failing the English proficiency test. The rationale behind this shift in enforcement was never explained, but it's important to note that the regulation itself, requiring English proficiency for CDL drivers, has been in place since 1937. The Obama-era FMCSA guidance basically erased the enforcement of this existing regulation. The CVSA removed English from their out-of-service criteria. The FMCSA soon followed suit. Drivers who failed English checks just got a citation, no grounding and no out-of-service.
That means for years you could be pulled over, not speak a lick of English, and still keep rolling. That ended up costing lives. Studies suggest a correlation between the increasing number of non-English speaking truck drivers and the rise in large truck accident rates since 2016. This change in enforcement, combined with what some in the industry perceive as lax licensing practices in some states, has been cited as a huge contributing factor to the rising commercial accident rates we have seen since 2016. Data from the National Safety Council reveals a consistent rise in fatal crashes involving large trucks since 2016. In the prior years from 2009 to 2014, fatalities involving big trucks averaged less than 4,000 per year. However, starting with 2016, fatalities steadily increased to their present level of nearly 6,000 per year.
Now fast forward to April 2025. President Trump signs an executive order to restore hard enforcement of English proficiency. No more looking the other way.
In May, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and the FMCSA released a new policy. Starting June 25th, if you can't speak English, you're out of service on the spot. This comes directly from the FMCSA, Trucking Dive, and CVSA.
And that ain't all. They rolled out a two-step English proficiency test. Spoken interview in English with no translator allowed and must show comprehension of road signs and their meanings. Fail either one, that truck's grounded immediately.
FreightWave says as many as 10% of truckers may not pass. That's huge. Carriers are sweating. Drivers are nervous.
In Laredo, Texas, New Jersey, and across the border states, trucking schools are scrambling to teach English crash courses just to keep drivers on the road.
And in court, like with Backsharoff and the Wyoming crash, it's becoming clear if you can't talk to troopers, read a warning label, or understand a weather alert, you shouldn't be behind the wheel.
Not everyone's happy. As hard to believe as it is, there are some groups out there that are calling this discriminatory. These are the very same idiots that are ranting and raving about ICE deporting murderers, rapists, and human traffickers that entered the United States illegally. But let's be honest, this ain't about politics. It's about people dying.
From CVSA to Landline, even the far left-leaning Associated Press news service is reporting that this crackdown is already preventing unsafe drivers from getting on the road.
And to the drivers out there watching this, we're not saying legal immigrants are the problem. We're saying poor training and lack of oversight are the problem. Safety doesn't care what language you speak. It just requires that you understand it.
Let's bring it back. Totally innocent co-driver Mary Couch, who was off duty in the sleeper berth, died in Wyoming because someone driving the other truck, who couldn't speak a lick of English, spun into her lane. That shouldn't happen. It was preventable.
The days of faking your way through a CDL test or getting coached by shady testers, they're over. If you're out there and you can't pass this test, get help now. Learn the language. Don't wait till it's too late.
And if you're a carrier hiring drivers without verifying English skills, you're part of the problem. Start vetting or get ready for lawsuits and shutdowns.
All right, drivers, drop your thoughts below. Have you ever seen a driver on your route that couldn't read a sign or explain what happened in a wreck? We want to hear your story.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. We'll keep you updated as the FMCSA ramps up enforcement. Until then, stay sharp, stay legal, and stay alive.